So yeah, thanks first of all for seeing me. Obviously, I'm here on behalf of PwrRngr.com and TokuNation. So I'll just jump straight to the questions for time's sake. So with the reveal of the 4 additional metallic armor rangers, obviously red, blue, black, and yellow, they've now joined the ranks with the Pink Ranger. So we have 5 of our metallic armored rangers. However, we are still missing one. So despite just having his figure re-released in the last 6 months, can fans expect to see the full metallic lineup of MMPR with the White Ranger sometime in the future?
I mean, I do think that we all know that the team is not really complete without a Tommy in there. And everyone always wants more Tommies, don't they? So
yeah, we heard it here first. Mike asked for more Tommy action.
It's down to me.
So we can't confirm anything, but it would make sense for him to come eventually. So
yeah. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Speaking of obviously the metallic armored rangers, they're coming with brand new sculpting on their helmets that really improve on both the look and accuracy to the show. So I was wondering, could fans one day hope to see these updated sculpts available without the metallic armor shine and the glitteriness for their regular MMPR figures?
Absolutely. This is one of those things. Time will tell. It's as we look into the wizard eye of the future. That's one of the great things about our tooling library. It's that Corey and Loretta, as part of what they do as a designer and sculptor, in like any 6-inch sculpting line at Hasbro, we're always looking for ways to improve upon what we do and the kind of figures that we offer to fans. So as our tooling library starts to grow and we start to evolve as a brand and get better and better, we bring out new portraitures, or we are able to update, like the Red Ranger helmet, we're able to update.
Yeah. And
we're coming up on an anniversary year in the future for MMPR. So I think, I absolutely, a character as popular as Red Ranger, being able to bring that awesome head sculpt or helmet sculpt to sort of an ordinary, or even the Dragon Shield version or things like that, that we haven't had a chance to do in a while, I think it only makes sense, because it's all about leveraging not just those deep cuts like some of the Boom Comics characters, but also casual fan entries that are the casual Sentai or Rangers fan love, like your Tommies, your Green Ranger, Red Rangers, or even some of the more casual fan seasons like In Space. We got to balance those with the right amount of like things that are unique and special about our brand. I think that's what makes our hobby fun.
Absolutely, I fully agree on that. And going off of what you said about Boom characters, especially, obviously we had the reveal of Mighty Morphin Red Tyrannosaurus Sentry figure, which looks incredible, obviously inspired from the Shattered Grid Boom comics. But with that, our minds obviously think to the future as well as collectors. And also, what are the odds that we could maybe troop build with our Lord Draken figures with the other coloured Sentry figures that are from the comics as well, like the blue, black, yellow ones that we see all throughout Shattered Grid?
I mean, we also love the World of the Coinless. We think it's such a fantastic, different sort of reimagining of the Power Rangers, their armor pieces, their style, their aesthetics, and from just our perspective in terms of enjoyment, it's such a cool way to stretch our creative juices and just go in a different direction while also exploring some just really cool looking figures that just even if you're not into Power Rangers, you see the Tyrannosaurus Sentry, you're like, that is a cool figure.
I think it could really bring in more of the audiences to kind of just get interacted and involved with the brand. Absolutely, yeah.
So the additional Sentries, we don't have any plans we can confirm or announce or anything in that fashion, but it's a cool opportunity and place that we can explore and sort of hunt going forward, and especially in terms of the way that people have responded to the Tyrannosaurus Sentry and what we've seen from the fans and the audience. It's been fantastic. Selling out pre-orders on Target and on Hasbro Pulse. People are excited about this figure, and that tells us a lot, and that gives us more confidence in the way that we can go forward in terms of being creative and exploring these deeper cut items from the Boom comics, from just for like sort of smaller seasons and different creative explorations.
Yeah.
I guess what John's trying to say is he loves the Mastodon Sentry, like me.
That is a good one. That's one of my favorite ones as well, actually. Yeah. Speaking of obviously going off of what you just said about how it sold out, obviously it was a massively well-desired figure. It was for the fan base and everyone. Was there any consideration to include a civilian head with the Red Sentry at some point, as we do know there was an iconic character from the original MMPR show revealed to be under one of those helmets.
Yeah, so there was definitely a consideration to talk about Skull and including him as part of the sculpt and the offering. It was, as we went through the process, we came to a point where we chose that we wanted this Sentry to be more of an army builder, so that you didn't start collecting too many Skull heads. We wanted you to be able to set up your dioramas with Lord Draken and Ranger Slayer and have him flanked by 2-4 Red Sentries behind him in that army builder sort of fashion. There is, of course, continued opportunity to bring that Skull sculpt and portrait in the future in different options. And really, I mean, John can talk to this, but it's as we look at expanding the Lightning Collection, when we talk about what we want to bring in, we're really looking for those opportune moments to do sculpts like that, to bring in characters, especially civilian characters, where it most makes sense.
Absolutely. Yeah, you said it all, man. It's you know, cameos like that are really cool. We want to make sure that with our first step out into, because we're taking a bit of a risk doing somebody that's a bit of a deep cut like Red Sentry, but it played off in a big way. So our first step forward is to be able to have that, you know, build up Drakon squad. You know, he's got kind of a stoic cape, but there's always an opportunity to do that character. You know, especially when interviews like this or forums or Twitter or Instagram, we're able to hear more people saying the same thing. We always listen. So being able to understand fans' reaction about this specific character, it gives us hope for doing something that's a little bit more riskier in the future. So the more something like Red Sentry plays out, the more we want to dip our toes into that universe, or, you know, think about Omega Rangers or, you know, the different Sentries. There's just such a great universe out there to explore, weirder seasons that are maybe, you know, that have really cool and unusual characters. Some things are worth taking risks for.
Brilliant. So release the Bulk and Skull pack will start trending quite soon then, I take it.
I like that.
Yeah.
But which costume? Like they have so many costumes.
Yeah, so many different versions. So obviously after the panel as well, it was revealed that Zeo Rangers Blues Tomphers, which were omitted from his original release, will find a release next year in 2022. So we just have to ask as well, the Zeo Gold Ranger has a very iconic weapon in the show, his golden power staff. And between both the Comic-Con 2019 version and the regular retail release we saw last year, the staff has one more variation that's not been released yet, which is the staff closed and the blade down. Is there any chance we might see that kind of make its way out to the future release?
You know, that's what's so great about this hobby, is it allows us to capitalize on some of those pieces. You know, I was just talking to Loretta about how we don't really have a morpher that a ranger can hold. You know, that would be a cool accessory too.
Definitely,
or,
absolutely.
Power Blaster in the other mode. Like there's a lot of little things that we could do. And as we start to think about different reasons why we would release figures or helmets and accessories and things like that, that it's great to know that we have such an awesome and deep library. I'm a big fan of Zeo Gold. I think he's a great figure, and that staff is epic. The fact that his mask looks like, it's so cool. So I agree with you 100%. We're listening. We're all, Loretta especially is a huge fan. She's a 90s kid. So it's on our radar for sure, man.
Brilliant. Fantastic. And my final question actually transitions away from merchandise and onto the show. Fans are obviously very excited, as you could probably tell, to see our first African-American Six Ranger and Gold Ranger at the same time, with Jordan Fight playing Ion in Power Rangers Dino Fury. And we was wondering if you could tell us any more about his character of Ion and what we can expect to see.
So you won't meet Ion or Jordan on screen until the fall, but I can tell you, and I think it was revealed, you know, he's from the same planet, Rafcon, as Zato. And if you think of Zato, classic red leader, right? A little serious. I mean, he's got a lot on his plate. He's been around for many millions of years. Whereas Ion, it's almost a nice balance, an opposite. He's fun-loving, kind of like charismatic, and a little bit more lighthearted. So you can imagine that is everyone wants to be around him, but that can get him into some situations and things. But they're a good balance, and it was. I'm excited that you guys are going to meet another one, someone else from Zato's planet. So it'll be interesting to kind of see the two interact, and for Ion to meet the rest of the Rangers and how he becomes gold. So I can't tell too much, but
no, of course, no. It
sounds like almost like an Andros Sane kind of thing, where they're like, another planet. That's to me as a fan, that's what's exciting is the opportunities of having these otherworldly Rangers as part of the Rangers group is infinitely cool. I liked Red Ranger, Dino Fury Red Ranger from the start for this reason. It just makes for a real interesting character.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And no, it sounds like a really nice juxtaposition kind of going on there as well with the two different types from the same planet as well. I think that's really exciting.
It's fun, and I will say with the cast in general, they have such great chemistry.
Absolutely.
So you kind of see that play out, and it's been exciting to see Jordan finally be able to reveal his I know that's quite a bit, but just the fan reaction to his announcement and even the cast reaction to kind of support him has been great.
Oh, brilliant. Well, that was all my questions that I had for today. So nice and short and sweet, hopefully for you there. Hope we built up a bit of time there. But no, thank you again so much for seeing me. We really do appreciate that, as does everyone involved with the website.
Yeah, thank you. We love your website too. Thank you.
Thank you for having us, Mike. And definitely stay tuned. We've got lots of cool stuff coming this fall.
It sounds very exciting. Yes. Brilliant. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Thanks,
Take
Mike.
care.
Bye-bye.